Okay, real talk for a sec. Have you ever actually read a whole privacy policy? Like, really read it?
Yeah, most people just click agree and move on.
Right. But we're diving into one today that's got some seriously interesting stuff buried in there. Buckle up, because we're cracking open Blizzard Entertainment's privacy policy.
Sounds thrilling, huh?
Okay, maybe not thrilling.
It's important, though, because it's basically a contract, what they can do with your info.
Exactly. It's like the rules of the game outside the game, and as gamers, we know how important rules are. So let's break it down.
So, they collect the obvious stuff, right? Your name, contact info, all that jazz.
Sure, that's a given.
But then it gets a little deeper. They're also tracking your gameplay, what you buy, how often you play, even what you say in voice chat.
Hold on, they're recording my voice chat, even the really embarrassing stuff.
Well, they do say they only keep those recordings for a limited time, mostly for dealing with harassment or cheating.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, I guess. But
Yeah.
still, kind of creepy.
It is a little Big Brother-ish, but here's where it gets even weirder. They're building a profile of you as a gamer, like what kind of player you are.
What do you mean?
They have this thing called influencer type classification.
Influencer type. Okay, I did not see that coming. What's that all about?
It's all tied into personalization. They want to tailor your experience, the ads you see, the games they recommend.
Oh, so the more they know about me, the more they can, target me.
Exactly. Figure out what makes you click, what makes you spend money.
It's all about knowing your audience, right?
Exactly. And Blizzard is very interested in knowing theirs. But it's not all just about selling you stuff. They also use your data for security, like keeping the games fair.
Right, that whole play nice, play fair thing they're always talking about.
Exactly. They're using your data to combat cheating, identify bad actors, all that.
Yeah.
They're basically the digital referees.
Which honestly is a good thing, right? I mean, we've
Oh.
all been in those matches where you're like, come on, this guy's totally cheating.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But it does raise some interesting questions about that balance between security and privacy. How much
Yeah.
is too much?
Yeah, it's a tough one. But speaking of privacy, let's talk about a feature that kind of throws that whole thing for a loop. Real ID.
Ah, yes. Real ID.
For those who haven't gone down that particular rabbit hole, it's basically where you link your Blizzard account to your real name, which then becomes visible to, wait for it, your friends' friends.
It gets a little too real, right?
Tell me about it. Suddenly that guy you're raiding with could be your dentist and you had no idea.
Exactly. And that's exactly why Blizzard loves it. It's all about those network effects.
Okay, hold up. Network effects. You're going to have to break that down for me.
Basically, it means the more people you're connected to on a platform, the more likely you are to stay active on that platform.
Okay, that makes sense. So, like, if my real-life friends are on Blizzard and their friends are on Blizzard, I'm more likely to stick around and keep playing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It builds a sense of community, keeps people engaged, and ultimately makes the platform more valuable for Blizzard.
More connections, more potential for, well, them making money.
Exactly.
So, Real ID, love it or hate it, it's definitely a thing. Do you use it?
I'm still on the fence about that one.
Fair enough. Let's move on to something that affects everyone, whether you realize it or not. Cookies. And no, we're not talking about the delicious kind.
Although that would be nice.
Right. But no, we're talking about those little digital crumbs that get dropped every time you visit a website, including Blizzard sites.
And these cookies track your browsing habits, what you click on, all sorts of things.
So they're like little digital spies.
Pretty much. But they're not just for Blizzard's benefit. This information is also shared with their partners.
Partners.
Yeah, like advertisers.
Hmm?
Ever notice how you'll be browsing online and then an ad pops up for a game you were just looking at?
Okay, that is super creepy. It's like they're reading my mind.
Well, cookies are a big part of how they do that. But the good news is you do have some control over this.
Oh, thank goodness. How do I stop the digital spying?
You can manage your cookie settings in your web browser. We'll give you the lowdown on how to do that a little later. But for now, just know that you have options. You can choose how much information you're comfortable sharing.
That's good to know. I feel like I'm already learning so much just by digging into this privacy policy. So we've talked about all the data they collect, but what about our control over it? Like, can we hit the delete button on some of this stuff?
They actually give you some rights, which is kind of surprising.
Really? Tell me more.
You can request access to the data they have on you, ask for corrections if something's wrong, and even ask to have some of it deleted.
No way. So I could erase that super embarrassing match where I kept getting sniped in the first 5 seconds.
Well, not everything can be deleted. They still have to keep certain records for legal and security reasons.
Oh, right. Makes sense. So no wiping the slate completely clean. But at least we have some options. It's not just a one-way street.
Exactly. And these rights, it's not just Blizzard being nice. It's because of data protection laws, like GDPR.
GDPR, that rings a bell.
It's a big, long, complicated regulation, but basically it gives you more control over your personal data.
Gotcha. So we've got some rights, some control. This is actually kind of empowering.
It should be. Knowledge is power, right? Now that you know what's up, you can actually do something about it.
Yeah, no more blindly clicking agree like I usually do. So how do we take charge? Where do we go to flex our privacy muscles?
Well, the good news is Blizzard actually makes it pretty easy. They have links right in their privacy policy where you can go to manage your settings.
Sweet. So I can like adjust my cookie settings and stuff like we talked about earlier?
Yep. You can control targeted ads, limit what data gets shared, the whole 9 yards.
Awesome. We'll make sure to include those links in the show notes for everyone listening. But the bottom line is, even though Blizzard collects a ton of data, they're upfront about it and they give you ways to control it.
Exactly. It's your data, your choice. And understanding these policies gives you the power to make informed decisions.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So we explored Blizzard's world today, but it really makes you think about all the other games and online services we use, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder to pay attention to those privacy policies, even if they seem boring. You might be surprised at what you find.
True. Well, on that note, we're out of time for today, but keep this in mind. Knowledge is power, and now you've got the knowledge to take control of your digital footprint. Until next time, happy gaming.